Hey everyone, welcome back to Dino Boy Gaming, and here we have Transformers Red Series Chromatic Optimus Prime. Yeah, I'm kidding. This is Ultra Magnus. This is Red Series Ultra Magnus. And I have to say, why did God allow this to happen? It happens, apparently. And when it happens, it's the most unrecognizable thing to ever exist. This is not Ultra Magnus. This is literally just a freaking Optimus Prime. They just painted white, blue, and whatever. Trying to get him in a stance where he's straight. Because his legs ain't correctly. These are meant to be out here for him. These things here hinder him from standing straight. But anyway, his arm. Another anyway. Here is the details. If his head pops off, that's not my fault. His head is very loose. Like I'm flicking it and you can see it. Like his head is very loose. And if I force it, and if I wiggle it enough, it'll fall off. And if I wiggle it enough, it'll... See? Told you. Yeah. If I wiggle it enough and force it, it'll pop off. The ball joint. Anyway, his head is on a ball joint, like I said, like I showed. It can go all the way around. It can wibble wobble. It can wobble till you trouble in the Ignore that blabber that came out of my mouth. His head can look left, right, and all the way around. You can look up that far, down that far. Well, not down, but you can look up and sort of down, but not really. His head shifts, so you can make him bop some tunes if you want to. Bop to some tunes. Do. If you want to. His legs. Stay together, torso, you little bitch. Yeah. You can see what I mean by his legs. By the way his legs are, you see, he's turned backwards. I just now noticed that he's turned backwards. That's why he's not standing correctly. He's turned backwards. That's why his legs were the other way around. There we go. Got him. Got him. Now we have him stable now. His legs can go out that far and back that far. They are hindered by the underpants, as I call them, by his metal tighty whities. His foot can go down that far and up that far. It can go all the way. It can wiggle all the way around. It has a decent pivot, but if you want to get a better pivot, you can do that. Just be careful not to break it. Yeah. He has a shifter joint in there that allows you to turn his foot like that if you want to. You can make him break his ankles. His arms, they can go up that far, down that far. They can go all the way around. His middle bicep can go all the way around as well. His arm is on a sort of on a double hinge, but it's not really. It just looks like that. Do you really get that double hinge to work? You have to push it, and I hate that. His hand can go back and forth. I had that cut off from the screen. It can go all the way around, up and down. Second inverse, the same as the first. Mid arm rotation, swivel all the way around, wiggle all the way around. His knees are on double hinges, but sometimes this hinge doesn't want to work. See, that's what I try to avoid. That's what I try to avoid happening with my videos. I try not to wobble my camera, because having it this close makes it where you get a nice face full of Optimus foot, and that's kind of mind-boggling. But his leg can go up about that far, like really extend up. Like you can have Optimus Prime literally doing a judo pose if you wanted to, or you can make him like this on his hands and knees if you wanted to. Yeah, you could put Prime on his hands and knees if you wanted to, bowing to Megatron. You can make, I keep calling this Optimus. You can make Ultra frickin' Magnus bow to Megatron. This thing is gonna drive me mad. But yeah, it's the same thing on both sides. He's got one of the stupidest waists I have had in a Transformer. You see why. See, that's my issue. To the person that commented on my last video, that's my problem with my phone, with me. Sometimes whenever I'm trying to look at the camera, when I'm looking here to look at this thing, it helps. But sometimes my eyes kind of look down at the camera, then look up at the figure. Down, up, down, up. They kind of glance at the figure more so than the camera, and it makes it way harder to freaking do these videos, because you don't know if you're gonna have your freaking figure go like get cut off by the video, if you know what I mean. I am a starter channel, and it happens to the best. It's happened to the best of us. We've all had that one thing where we can't make videos correctly. And I'm having to do this all from my phone because I can only upload from my phone. But he has a little compartment where you can, if you have the Red Series Optimus, you can give him the Matrix. Now, if you want to know why the paint on this figure is scuffed on the side, right there, is because I've dug my fingers in there way too much to get that in there. Yeah, I've dug my thumbnail in there to open that door, to open his chest unit. Way too much. That's why, and I can speak for everyone when I say that I prefer the Legacy Optimus Prime with the flippable chest, where the chest just untabs and kind of comes up and stays that way. So you could slip the Matrix out. Not this. Not this. Where you can't get him to hold his doors, his chest unit compartment things. But yeah, there's like there's nice detail in there, little panel detail. I don't have a flashlight, so it's kind of hard to see. Anyway, on to his accessories. I left his accessories in this tiny little thing. The reason why Megatron, this Megatron is not in this video, is because I don't have his components. I don't know where in the friggity frick his wrecking ball is. I don't know where it is. Or his mace is, anyway. I don't know where it's at. I do not care to look, because this sucker is like all over the place, as you can probably tell. Like, look, I'm like shaking his legs, and look at his like, look, you can see they're widening out. And see, he doesn't stand all the way anymore because of his, see, every time I want to straighten his leg, look, this leg always wants to move. This leg always wants to move. It's annoying. And also, this is made with a lighter plastic, so if you look, this is why I prefer this one more than this. Because if you look right there, it's bending. Whoops. It's bending. See that? See right there? See right there? That's what I mean. Sometimes I'll be looking at the figure behind the camera, and my hand will just make the figure levitate. Ugh, it's annoying. But you see it. I don't want to force it, by the way. But you can see it. But you can visually see what I mean by his arm just wants to bend and snap off. That's why I don't want to, mess with it too much. But anyway, on to this figure's accessories. He comes with two fist hands. So if you wanted to have him, with fists, I'm not going to interchange his hands because it's just too much. Might as well. That's also what I mean. Whenever I'm pulling on something, it's a 50-50 shot of me throwing it at the camera on accident. My dude. Yeah, that's why it's kind of hard to have it where, see? Because when I pull on things, it pulls it away. And yeah, it'll be off camera a little bit, but I try to keep these things in the shot as much as possible without any compromises. But see, you can have him with his fists. You can have him like this. Or if you wanted to go full on nostalgic mode, you can. And he also has a pointing hand, so if you wanted to go full on nostalgic mode, I know I'm repeating myself. I do that sometimes. You can make him go, that's pretty good. That's good. That's pretty good. Or you can make it where he, Where he, starts, I'm kidding. If y'all want to know, my content is for older kids, okay? So if I try to do a dirty joke, just don't take notice to it. But if you wanted to do the classic Optimus Prime, like Optimus Prime pointing pose, I'm pointing at you. I'm looking at you. Or you could just make him go like this to Megatron. See? I bumped my camera. Again. I do that a lot. Shh. Shh. Oh, Lord. You can make him go... You can make him poke Megatron's eyes out. You can make him go... You can make him go... Doink. There, my eyes! He's also got an axe, a blue one. See, this is what I mean. Is this meant to be a reference to the Chromatic Prime or something? Because I do not remember Ultra Magnus ever having a blue axe. Goodness. Like, someone in the comment section explained to me why this figure has a blue axe. Is it just a reference to that one episode of G1 where Prime had, was white at one point? Had like some sort of like antivirus put on him to stop a disease or something, I think. I don't remember what it was called. Where basically all the Decepticons and Autobots got corrupted or something, and they were like fighting each other. They were like trying not to fight anymore, but they were fighting each other anyways. And also, he also has a gun, his gun, and a gun holding hand. There we go. He also has the classic G1 gun, which is not his gun. I do not remember Ultra Magnus having this gun. I don't know if this is made for like the other thing or something. And if you wanted to, you can make him. You can bring out Savage Ultra Magnus and just have him like this, just weapons ablaze and shing, shing, just shing. Sing, sing, sha, he, ha, ha. You can go slash, and rubbish, and ruddish, and if you wanted to. That's if you wanted to pose him like this. I don't pose him anymore. I used to have him out there on my shelf. I do not play with, I wouldn't say play, but you know what I mean. I do not keep this out there on my shelves anymore, mainly because it's garbage. Don't get me wrong, they're good figures in their own right. I just don't like them. They're not a Transformer to me. These things are just not Transformers. Because the idea of a Transformer is something that can convert. This does not convert. So there's no point for Hasbro. There was no point for even Hasbro to create this. I don't even think Red Series is still even going at this point. Someone let me know that down in the comments, because I do not know if it's still going or not, but yeah. Because, I mean, this is good for people who like stop motion and stuff. Which there are very few figures I actually like playing stop motion wise with, or try stop motion wise. because these big giant man mitts get in the way. These giant mammoth mitts get in my way of trying to pose and articulate it. Yeah, my timing on doing this and that actually being good and actually keeping that pose, whatever, is really hard for me. I'll just say that. But this figure is really good. Now on to his counterpart, the one I made Ultra Magnus poke the eyes out of, and that is the Megatron. Now I'm only gonna do the mold itself. I cannot do accessories. I do not know where his accessories are. That's why I'm making his part of his retro review. So here is reformating Megatron. Now this figure is my favorite just because it's Megatron, but it's also one I dislike more so than Ultra Magnus over here off camera. Now, the only reason why I dislike this figure mainly is because, well, if you pull on certain things, see how this here is, see? You see it now? See this is like bending. And I get it, it's meant to give the effect of, Megatron's going into a new form. He's getting turned into someone new. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Teaser. That's a teaser. So, just like the other one, his arm can go out, can go back and forth just like so. His arm can go up that far and down that far, can rotate all of 360. Same thing on the other side, rotate it full 360 and up at the shoulder. He can kick out about that far and go back about that. Well, I say go back about that far, but really his knee makes it where he can go further. His knee can bend up about that far and back about that far due to the nature of his design being one, having a double knee joint, and two, just because of how cool the design is. The design is. Sorry I'm so quiet in these videos lately. Last video I was kind of like up and jive and like ready to do the video. Today, for some reason, I cannot keep my voice clear today for some reason. And his foot can go up about that far, down about that far, all the way around. And he can do a spread about like that. I did not do the spread with him.